Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something super special for you. We're diving into the journey from being overwhelmed to outstanding by adapting to a new teaching style. And guess who's here to help us out? Hey folks, it's me, Fizz, ready to share some cool insights and maybe a joke or two. That's right, Fizz. Now, adapting to a new teaching style can feel like a huge challenge, and I'll be honest, it was rough at the start. But trust me, it's totally worth it. I've been through it, and today I'm sharing my reflections and tips to help you make the transition smoother. And I got some fun stories to share too, like the time things didn't go exactly as planned. But we learned a lot from it. Absolutely, Fizz. So whether you're a seasoned teacher or just starting out, stick around because we're about to transform your classroom experience. Let's jump in. Grab your coffee, sit back, and let's go from overwhelmed to outstanding together. All right. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. Ready, Fizz? Ready, Scott? Let's do this. First up, understanding the need for change. So you want to identify the catalyst. Discuss what prompted the transition. Was it a new educational policy, a shift in student needs, or a personal desire for professional growth? I know for me, I was sucking at a traditional teacher. I could not teach from a textbook if my life depended upon it. I did that for my first semester, and not only were my kids bored, I was so bored. So I knew I needed to make a change, and that was the impetus for me. Next, you want to assess current practices. Reflect on the strengths and weaknesses of your current teaching style. What was working and what wasn't? And when you analyze that, then you can figure out where you need to make changes to help implement and become more successful. Whenever you try something new, you're going to have some initial challenges. Let's talk through these. First, overcoming resistance. Resistance from fellow teachers and resistance from your students. I found what was really helpful with fellow teachers was to focus on the outcomes, what my kids could actually do with the language, and just point those things out. And then they would ask me, so how did you get your kids to be able to do that? And that's when I would talk about the approaches and strategies I used in class. I found they were much more receptive when explaining it that way. With students who might be more comfortable using textbooks where they can actually memorize vocabulary and grammar rules or work with workbooks and just answer questions because it's so much easier for them, I try to equate them and tell them how learning a language is not different from playing a sport, learning how to play a musical instrument, or learning how to dance. All of those activities you can't actually learn how to do well without actually doing them. And it's no different with a language. You can't learn to play football just because you know the rules of the game, and you can't learn how to play the saxophone by reading a book. So explain to them it's the same with language. We got to actually use the language, and then they will learn the language through that. Now, I'll tell you, over the years, I've done lots of trial and error. And that's what you want to do in your classroom as well. Try things out, find what works, find what doesn't work, and make adjustments as you go there. It's a learning process. It's not a once and done type of thing. Here are some strategies for successful implementation. First, start small. Begin with small, manageable changes. For example, incorporate a few new teaching techniques rather than overhauling the entire curriculum at once. Start with just changing out one activity for another and slowly add more activities as you become more comfortable. Collaborative learning is another great idea. Engage students in collaborative learning activities. Group projects and peer teaching can facilitate a smoother transition. And third, reflect and adjust. It's really important to think about your teaching. What went well? What didn't go well? What changes would you make? Set aside time for regular reflection, maybe at the end of every lesson, at the end of the day, or at least at the end of every week. Encourage students to also provide feedback and use it to make continuous improvements. That's how we learn. We adjust as we go from our reflections and finding out what went well, what went poorly, and how we can make changes to make things better. Constant analysis is constant success. Next, you'll want to build a supportive environment. Start with professional development. Seek out workshops, webinars, and training sessions. There are tons of them, especially in the summer. There's in-person conferences, there's online conferences, there's in-person workshops throughout the year, as well as webinars and other training sessions. So get involved. Continuous learning can provide new insights and methods to refine your approach. You can, again, try new strategies you've not tried before, or be able to mix things up and have some new strategies that you can add to your teacher toolbox. Peer support is also extremely important. Form a support network with fellow teachers who are also adapting to new styles. So you can do this locally. You can either do it virtually through like Zoom meetings, or maybe you can plan a meeting at a local coffee shop or library or in your classroom once or twice a month to share ideas and strategies and work together and collaborate. You can also collaborate on Facebook groups. There are a lot of those that are language specific or idea specific that you can collaborate with to be able to get ideas and bounce ideas off of. Here you're going to share your experiences, resources, advice, plan together, troubleshoot together. It's great. You can always learn from other people, and this is a great way to be able to do it. Hey everyone, if you're gearing up for the new school year and want to take all the stress out of starting fresh, we've got just the thing for you. That's right, introducing our Back to School Bootcamp. It's a 10-part mini course designed to get you ready for the new school year using Comprehensible input. Whether you're a new teacher or a seasoned pro, this bootcamp will provide you with practical strategies, engaging activities, and everything you need to start the year off strong. And the best part? No stress. Just clear, actionable steps to make your teaching life easier. So, what are you waiting for? Join us at mm.us/bootcamp, and let's make this the best school year yet. Sign up today and get ready to transform your classroom. We can't wait to see you there. See you at the bootcamp. Once you've made the change, you need to measure your progress and success. Start with student feedback. Regularly collect and analyze student feedback. This could be in the form of surveys, questionnaires, informal discussions, or reflection questions to gauge their responses to the new methods. What activities are working for them? What activities could use some improvement? What activities aren't really helpful to them? Do they have any suggestions or ideas? Remember, they're your clientele and they may have some really great actionable ideas for you to help implement your new strategies. Self-assessment is also extremely important. Reflect on your own progress. What milestones have you achieved? How has your teaching evolved? And what are the noticeable improvements? I know with me, when I first started, my principal even told me how much a big change from semester 1 to semester 2 was. My kids were much more engaged. The language was flowing. It was a great experience. So reflect on those things. See what you're doing well and what areas you still need to work on. Wow, what a journey. Thanks so much for joining us as we explored how to go from overwhelmed to outstanding by adapting to a new CI teaching style. We hope you found these reflections and tips super helpful. Remember, every step you take brings you closer to an amazing classroom experience. Absolutely. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the latest content. Also, check out the 2 videos YouTube has picked out just for you. They're packed with more great tips and strategies. You won't want to miss them. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate your support and love hearing from you in the comments. Until next time, keep making your classrooms engaging and fun. Happy comprehensible input!